to the second part of the React Context series. In the first part, we created our whole project and it is working. Wait, yeah, it is working. So, in this part, what we are going to do, we are going to convert this project into a functional project. As you know, nowadays everything is in React is getting converted to functional, because React is also promoting that. Although the class based component still works and it has been worked throughout the industry, but you can do it with functional component, and React is moving towards that. So we are going to convert it to a functional component, plus to use hooks in a functional component. We have a new hook, means known as useContext hook. So to use context API, we have a new hook known as useContext hook. So we are going to see how to use it. But first, let us convert this app.js into a functional component. So instead of components, we'll use state, and instead of class, it will be const app equal to and arrow function. Then after that, there is no render in a functional component, so let me remove this. There is no state like this in a hook based functional component. So let me use this const language comma set language equal to use state, and the initial thing will be English. So in this is equivalent to this state is language, and the initial thing is English. The set language is actually equivalent to this dot set state. So let us change this now. So we will have to have a const here, const, and instead of this dot set state, we will have set language, and it will be equal to the lang. So it is exactly equivalent to this. Now this on click, we won't have the syntax like this. We just call it, and there is no state variable. This is only called as a language variable. So let me close it, and it is done. So next, we will change our button component. Everything else is exactly fine, so we will change our button component now. So again, instead of component, we'll have a new hook known as useContext, and let me change it, const button equal to an arrow function. There is no render here, and so this context thing, it is quite equivalent to the static context type, which we used to have in the class based component. This button thing, this is quite traditional way, but now in class based component we used to have this static context type. So it will be quite similar to that, but let's have a const lang type. Any variable name you can take. It is not like that static type you have to have, anything you can take. Then this use context, and we have to pass the language context. That's it. So now we'll have access to this lang context. Let me remove this all, because I don't need this all, and it is just one statement button. Let me do this, use this render text only. Render text we could have used directly also, which we are going to do in field. Lang type, this will be const. So this is another way in React to do it. If you want to move all the logic outside and we don't want to use much JSX inside, we can create another function and use it like this. So const lang type, every logic will be every other logic will be the same. Let me save it. So if I save it, it will work. React limits of number of renders to prevent it is giving me some error. Actually I found the issue, and as always in Stack Overflow, so as Stack Overflow say, I got the error because actually if you notice I have removed this and we need to pass a function here. So let me move ahead and put it back. And the moment I save it, and it is working fine. So our button component is done with the help of useContext hook. Let us do the same thing here also. We will use the useContext hook as and const field equal to an arrow function instead of this static. Oh, I did something wrong. Instead of this static, we are going to use this. We are not going to have this render. Let me format it. And this text, now instead of this dot context, I am going to have access to this lang type, and everything else will remain the same. I will get this text here. So this is a much easier way to do it like this, but this is another way in React we can do this thing. When we have lot of logic, we generally create a function and add all the logic here, or else we have to do everything in JSX. And as you might know, JSX even don't have a if else statement. You have to use ternary only. So if we want, we can use if else or everything here like a normal function. So let me save it. We are getting no error and it is working fine. So our context API with hooks is done with the help of useContext. Hope you like this conversion and you get to know how context API work in a hook based environment. Thank you.